What's up, everybody? Justin here, back with part 3 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1994, part 3. Let's get it going. I'll be talking about the ECW Super Show events. They were not pay per views, they were just like big events, super shows that were basically done for a videotape release in the 90s. So here we go. Up first, again, I talked about at the end of part 2, the night the line was crossed. Legendary first ever three-way triple threat match. It went an hour. Sabu, Terry Funk, Shane Douglas for the ECW World Title. It was fucking awesome. Sherry Martel was involved. She was in ECW for a short time. She was managing Shane Douglas in 93 and 94 for a little bit. And then, of course, she got hired by WCW and managed Ric Flair. I was happy for her. And during the three-way at the night the line was crossed, Paul Heyman actually got involved because he managed Sabu and he cracked his cell phone over the head of Sherry Martel. So the next event that I'm going to review, when ECW's When Worlds Collide. Not many matches were on it. We had basically two matches, or one match in a feud. Interpromotional dream match. Paul Heyman's team, or Paulie Dangerously's team. Paulie Dangerously, if you did not know, was Paul Heyman. Paulie Dangerously's team was Sabu and beautiful Bobby Eaton. I guess ECW had an agreement in 94 for a short time with WCW. They exchanged talent. There were a lot of WCW guys. Arn Anderson, Cactus Jack, and beautiful Bobby got to be used by ECW for some reason. I don't know why. They must have an agreement. I think Paul Heyman sued WCW, and part of the lawsuit was, I don't know, he got to use some WCW guys for his shows. So the team of Sabu, beautiful Bobby, took on Arn Anderson and Terry Funk in the ECW arena. When Worlds Collide. I don't remember who won. I don't have the results in front of me. Just the matches are in front of me. What I'm reading. Or what I'm reading off of, again, is ECW's catalog of other super shows and videotapes they released. So I'm just reading the matches from these events. You want to know the results, you can look them up yourself. I'm just talking about the shows and what I remember about them. So then at When Worlds Collide, you had the Public Enemy begin and start their feud with Terry Funk, and eventually Dory Funk, his brother, would come in. So now let's talk about Heatwave, ECW Heatwave 1994. It was called the Battle for the Future. You had ECW World Champion, the franchise Shane Douglas, take on Sabu. And Shane Douglas basically retained. I don't know if it was by pinfall or submission, but he won and retained. Up next we had at Heatwave 94. We had a barbed wire tag team matchup. Barbed wire tag team match. The Public Enemy against Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. Again, in a Texas barbed wire match. It was pretty awesome. I believe Heatwave 94 is now on the WWE Network, I think, under ECW Super Shows. So what I remember about Heatwave 94, pretty good event. Let's go to ECW Hardcore Heaven 94. We had, that was a final match, but between Terry Funk and Cactus Jack was the main event. But other matches, we had the Public Enemy take on the Bad Breed in a Brawl game. It was called a Brawl game match. Whatever that is, basically is a street fight hardcore war. The Bad Breed, by the way, was Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten. Ian Rotten is a piece of shit, and Axel Rotten, that guy actually had talent and could wrestle. But sadly, he became a hardcore wrestler. So other matches at Hardcore Heaven, Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio had a pretty good match. And the main event was just legendary for what happened after the match. Cactus Jack and Terry Funk ended up, I think it was disqualification or no contest. Public Enemy comes out, attacks Cactus and Terry Funk. They're laid out on the mat. Terry Funk goes into one corner, Cactus goes into the other. Terry Funk's going like this, telling the fans, like, throw chairs, start throwing all the chairs you have. Any chair you can find, throw it in the ring. And these were big, real steel chairs, not gimmicked chairs. Fans in the ECW arena, just, it's a legendary image. During when ECW would do their highlight package in the beginning of their shows, they would always show it, the chairs flying into the ring. Every fan basically in the ECW arena, some fans were not throwing them, but a lot of fans were just throwing the chairs into the ring and covered the Public Enemy in the chairs. It was insane. It was amazing. It was awesome. I watched it like a couple days ago again, and it was awesome. So the chairs just cover the ring on top of the Public Enemy. They're pissed. They start standing up, and Rocco Rock starts throwing chairs into the crowd because he's probably pissed, and he had a right to be pissed. He was covered in chairs. So Johnny Grunge, Rocco Rocker, like throwing chairs into the air, into the crowd. It was awesome. So that was Heat. That was Hardcore Heaven 94. The legendary chair throwing incident. So let's go with up next. I think this was in 94, this show. This super show, I'm not sure, but Double Tables, ECW's Double Tables. You had Sabu and Taz challenge for the tag team titles against a Public Enemy. I believe they won the tag titles. It was basically no rules. Both teams were just beating the crap out of each other and going through tables. It was basically a tables match, almost. Other matches, you had Shane Douglas defend the ECW World title against Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen. He was out of wrestling for a lot of years, from 90 to 91, 92, 93. Tully Blanchard did nothing in wrestling. The guy probably had addiction problems. That's why no company would hire him. He couldn't pass a drug test to be brought back to WCW before 1990. Or 1990, they didn't want to bring him back because I guess he would have failed a drug test, or he failed one. But Tully Blanchard, Shane Douglas at Double Tables had a really good match. I believe it went like 45 minutes to an hour. Now this show might have been in early 95, I'm not sure, but whatever. This is Year in Wrestling Reloaded 94. If Double Tables happened in 95, I messed up, I apologize. Other matches, you had Cactus Jack and the Sandman in a Texas death match. Other matches, you had I believe Axel and Ian Rotten beat the crap out of each other. They were in a bloody war. Basically, in 95, Axel and Ian Rotten, two big fat white guys, basically beating the shit out of each other and bleeding. That's really all they did in 95. Finally, at double tables, you had Chris Benoit take on Al Snow. Now I'm going to talk about more ECW big events that happened, big things that happened. These are from ECW TV. August 27th, 1994, Shane Douglas cuts a legendary promo, wins the NWA World Title Tournament, defeated Two Cold Scorpio in the finals. Shane Douglas picks up the NWA title, has it on his shoulder, cuts up. Great promo. It says all the NWA champs, basically throws the belt down, says they can all kiss my ass. Picks up a new title, the ECW World Title. Again, this is from August 27th, 94. Shane Douglas says, I am now declaring myself the Extreme Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Crowd pops in the ECW arena. The guy from the NWA at ringside was pissed. He didn't know it was going to happen. But it was between Paul Heyman, Shane Douglas. They knew they were going to do that. It made a lot of headlines and it put ECW on the map. They were basically like, Paul Heyman didn't want to be a second-rate NWA promotion. They were Eastern Championship Wrestling in 94 for a lot of 94 until August. When he threw down the NWA title, ECW became Extreme Championship Wrestling. No longer working with the NWA, no longer an affiliate. They were on their own, Extreme Championship Wrestling, no longer Eastern Championship Wrestling, and it was a great idea by Paul Heyman. So, August 27th, 94, NWA title gets thrown down, ECW World title is born. August 30th, 94, ECW TV, Hardcore TV, Tommy Dreamer caned by Singapore King 10 times by the Sandman. Epic, legendary storyline feud match. It was awesome. And Tommy Dreamer at the time, he still had his suspenders on. He was the ultimate babyface, but the ECW fans were not buying it. They did not like Tommy Dreamer as a babyface. But once he took those 10 cane shots, his back was busted open, bleeding, bruised, just cut up with scratches and marks. After that, Tommy Dreamer earned the ECW fans' respect, and he became the innovator of violence. He was no longer a pretty boy. He had the fans' respect. He had a lot of fans' respect. So, again, August 30th, 94, ECW TV. Watch that episode. It's on the WWE Network. Tommy Dreamer caned 10 times. And a woman, rest in peace to woman. She was there, Sandman's manager. She was cutting a promo on the mic saying, Tommy, I can stop this. I can stop him from doing this to you. If you just get down on your knees and kiss my feet, I'll stop it. Tommy Dreamer took the mic and was like, how about you get on your knees and kiss my ass? It was a tremendous storytelling by Dreamer, woman, and the Sandman. It was fucking awesome. Just what a moment in ECW history. Because it had so much real emotion. So up next we had on ECW TV, November 1994, where kayfabe was basically broken. because they showed backstage in the locker room and the baby faces and heels were together. But before that, we had Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, in an I Quit match in the main event. It might have been early November '94 ECW TV. Sandman was smoking. Dreamer pushed his hand or something, and the cigarette went out of his mouth and into his eye. Sandman was blinded. He sold it well. He was down. He was holding his eye. He was in pain. A cigarette went in his eyeball. And of course, Sandman quit. Tommy Dreamer was trying to check on him. A woman checked on Sandman. A woman was yelling at Dreamer, "Get away, get away." Then they went backstage. The paramedics took out the Sandman backstage. He was laying on the floor waiting for the ambulance. Public Enemy was there. A lot of the boys were there. Pit Bulls were there. A woman was being taken away, but she started screaming and ran back to the Sandman to check on him. Tommy Dreamer's trying to check on him. All the boys and the woman were yelling at Dreamer, like, "Get away, get away." And Dreamer saying, "I just want to check on him, see if he's okay. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it." The woman yelled, "You bastard, you son of a bitch." That was great. So then Todd Gordon was there. He's telling Sandman, "They're coming. The ambulance is coming. We're going to take care of you who don't fall asleep." Like, he wasn't going to die. Why were they telling him don't fall asleep? So then he's holding a towel over his eye, and it was all bloodied towel. Again, it felt real. It didn't feel like a storyline. It felt real. That's what ECW did at their best. Their storylines felt real, had real emotion. So that was great. So now I'm going to talk about November to Remember '94, which the event I don't believe's on the WWE network. Maybe they never released it on video. I don't know, but you can't find the let me start over. You can't find the November to Remember event '94 anywhere, really. But a lot of the matches were taped and put on ECW TV at the end of '94 and '95. So November to Remember '94, here are some of the matches. You had Two Cold Scorpio defeat Mr. Hughes. Shane Douglas defend the world title, defeating Ron Simmons. Public Enemy won the ECW tag team titles from Mikey Whipwreck and Cactus Jack. Tommy Dreamer defeated Tommy Cairo. They were in a short feud. Tommy Cairo was cutting promos, making fun of Tommy Dreamer, that he was crying and making fun of the Sandman getting blinded. So Dreamer really beat the shit out of Tommy Cairo. I believe they had a Singapore Cane match, where they both had Singapore Canes to start the match. And this is November to Remember '94. November, December, Tommy Dreamer started wearing ECW shirts instead of his suspenders. So he was the innovator of violence by the end of '94. Chris Benoit, Sabu, only went like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. Chris Benoit, for some reason, like picked up Sabu by his knee or foot, threw him in the air behind him. Just threw him up in the air. I guess he thought Sabu was going to take a backdrop. I don't know, but Sabu landed on his head and broke his fucking neck. Chris Benoit broke the neck of Sabu at the November to Remember '94. And Paul Heyman capitalized on that and started calling Chris Benoit the Crippler after he broke Sabu's neck for real. It was an accident, but he got his neck broken. So that was November to Remember '94. Now let's talk about some of the PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated '94 awards they gave out. Wrestler of the Year was Hulk Hogan. Can't argue with that, but it also could have been Bret Hart. Hulk Hogan won. Runner-up was Bret Hart. Second runner-up, Razor Ramon. Third runner-up, Ric Flair. Tag Team of the Year in '94. I think it was not Harlem Heat. They could have been, but it was the Nasty Boys. Were the Tag Team of the Year. Runner-up was Head Shrinkers. Second runner-up was Public Enemy. Third runner-up was Rock and Roll Express. I think in '94 they were in Smoky Mountain Wrestling still. Match of the Year for '94 was Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10. First runner-up was Nasty Boys against Cactus Jack and Max Payne from Spring Stampede '94. Second runner-up was Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Third runner-up, Alundra Blaze, Bull Nakano. Feud of the Year for '94 was Bret Hart, Owen Hart. I agree. I will not disagree with that. It was a great real-life feud between two real-life brothers. Runner-up, first runner-up, Feud of the Year, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Second runner-up, Randy Savage and Crush. They had a pretty good feud. Third runner-up was Sabu, Terry Funk. I guess from ECW or FMW. Most popular wrestler of the year, '94, was Sting. First runner-up, Bret Hart. Second runner-up, The Undertaker. Third runner-up, Hulk Hogan. So wrestler of the year, '94, was Sting. Most hated wrestler of the year was Bob Backlund in '94. That's probably true, or Owen Hart. Bob Backlund. First runner-up, Owen Hart. Second runner-up, Big Van Vader. Third runner-up, Jerry Lawler. Most improved wrestler of the year, '94, was Diesel. First runner-up, Johnny B. Bad. Second runner-up, Sabu. Third runner-up, Owen Hart. Owen Hart was a better worker than Sabu and Johnny B. Bad. He was. Inspirational wrestler of the year in '94 was Bret Hart. First runner-up, Terry Funk. Second runner-up, The Guardian Angel. Third runner-up, Dave Sullivan. I hated Dave Sullivan in WCW. I didn't like the guy. He was boring. He looked like a rip-off of Hulk Hogan. He was supposed to be Kevin Sullivan's brother, which he was not. I think even Dave Sullivan feuded with Kevin Sullivan in '94, and it was god-awful. I like Kevin Sullivan. The guy's a pretty damn genius of a booker when he was a booker and for WCW. So now let's go to Rookie of the Year in '94 was 911 from ECW. First runner-up, Bob Holly. And then Mikey Whipwreck's third runner-up. Comeback of the Year in '94, Hulk Hogan. First runner-up, Bob Backlund. Second runner-up, The Undertaker. Third runner-up, Alundra Blaze. In '94, The Undertaker was gone from after the Royal Rumble until SummerSlam. I think he's injured and needed time off. Or he just wanted a vacation. I don't know. So there's the PWI award winners for 1994. Hope you enjoyed Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1994 Part 3. I'll be back, I don't know when, to do another Year in Wrestling Reloaded on 1995, where I'll talk about a lot of ECW super shows. To review them, a lot of super shows from ECW in '95, like The Return of the Funker, The Three-Way Dance, Hostile City Showdown '95, The Malenko Guerrero Classic, Enter the Sandman, Barbed Wire hoodies and choke slams. Hardcore Heaven 95, Heat Wave 95, Gangsters Paradise 95. So, hope you enjoyed Year in Wrestling Reloaded 94, Part 3. Bye for now.